What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another War Within video. Hope you're all doing very well. We're going to look at Holy Paladin on the PTR today. 11.1, there are been some big changes that have come through, more patch notes that Blizzard finally released yesterday. So we're going to talk about these changes, and then I'm going to give you a kind of damage comparison, I would say, for Holy Shock, because that's the biggest change that's come through here, and Blizzard is actually finally making Holy Shock a very serious ability now. And we're gonna look at how much damage does it do without the new tier set bonus, and how much damage does it do with the new tier set bonus, and just a comparison that way to see, because damage from Holy Paladin has been an issue for a while, but there's also some healing bonuses here too. There's also some nerfs, so we're gonna look at all that right now. Let's just dive right into the notes. I'm also gonna show you my healing that I did in my raid encounter last night on a mythic raid, and we're gonna do some comparisons there. Yo, I really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe on the video. I gotta get some coffee. Bye. First of all, their AoE healing is getting nerfed, and I really think this is dumb. I do not like this at all. I don't understand why. Like, I guess I understand a little bit why this is being done, because some of the other spells you're getting are getting Omega buffed, but Holy Paladin's AoE healing is probably the weakest point of Holy Paladin, right? Like, compared to every other healer out there who has like very easy AoE healing spells, like a Resto Shaman just drops their Surging Totem and does a couple chain heals and everybody's topped up, right? To do AoE healing as a Holy Paladin, you always have to drop your Beacon of Virtue first and then heal people. Even Light of Dawn doesn't really do that much unless you have Beacon of Virtue on a bunch of people as well. So them reducing this by 5%, I don't really understand. That's this talent right here. Beacon of Light now transfers an additional 5% of the amount healed. So instead of all allies on your Beacon of Virtue getting 15 or getting 20% of the other healing you do, they now get 15%. So it might not sound like very much, but it's actually a pretty big blow to AoE healing for Holy Paladin, and I do not understand why, because I don't think Holy Paladin AoE healing is super overpowered. As somebody who's been doing a lot of Holy Paladin healing now for months and doing it in Mythic Raid and Mythic Plus, like, I just don't understand. We'll see. Maybe it's not. It ends up being not a big deal, but I don't really like it. Truth Prevails, healing down by 20%, and Greater Judgment Absorb down by 25%. So again, more nerfs. It's not the end of the world, I would say, on your overall like meters. Like, let's actually look at this here. My Judgment Absorb in the raid, there's Greater Judgment there. It's doing 4% of my overall healing, and the Truth Prevails is also there as well. It's doing about 2 to 3% of my overall healing, I guess, in a raid. Now, that's in a raid environment. That's going to be a little bit different in a Mythic Plus environment. But really, it's annoying these are getting nerfed, but these are not your biggest heals by far. So you're probably going to lose, you're losing 20% of, let's say 4, 5, 6, 7% of your healing. So 20% of 7 is like, I don't know, 1.5, basically 1.5%. So maybe you're looking at a 1.5% reduction in overall healing by these two things going down. 1 to 2% of your healing is down now. Again, completely variable, because Mythic Plus is different, so just take it with a grain of salt. It's not the end of the world. Just bear that in mind, okay? It's annoying that we're getting nerfed, and like Mistweaver is just getting constantly buffed over and over again, but it's not that bad, okay? Holy Prism healing up by 20%. This is cool. I think it's bugged right now though, because the number has not changed. I'll show you a picture that I've got here. So there's new numbers on Holy Prism, and there's also new numbers on Holy Shock, and we're going to look at both of those right now. So the Holy Shock numbers are really cool. Let me just look at this one more time. The Holy Prism healing up by 20%, Holy Shock damage up by 100%, and then Holy Shock healing up by 40%. So really good for Holy Shock and slightly good for Holy Prism, okay? So if we look at this here, little picture that I did up, we've got essentially the current Holy Shock for my character at item level 636, that basically is what I am, okay? It does almost 75,000 damage and 250,000 healing to an ally. The new one is going to do 150,000 damage. It's doubled, and 350,000 healing. That goes up by about 100k. That's just baseline. There's a lot of other modifiers that are gonna make that stronger, but that's a massive buff for Holy Shock. Really, really cool. The damage is doubled, and the healing has gone up again by 40%. So substantial amount of healing. Holy Prism. The one that right now it does about 290,000 damage, and then it radiates 211,000 healing, or it could do 422,000 healing to one person, and then it can radiate damage. The healing number hasn't really changed if you're doing AoE healing for some reason. It's still 211,000 healing to 5 allies. That should have gone up by 20%. But you can see the single target heal has gone up appropriately. Instead of 422,000 healing, it does 500,000 healing, and then it radiates damage. So there's a bug here, I think, with the AoE healing portion of Holy Prism. They got to fix that. But the bigger change, the larger change, the one you're really interested in the most is the Holy Shock change. And we're going to talk about why this is so important now, okay? The fact that its damage has doubled and its healing has gone up by 40%, this is a really big deal. So Light of Dawn healing is also going up. Not bad, actually. I don't ever use Light of Dawn, to be honest. I don't even really use it in the raid. Like, I didn't press Light of Dawn in the raid once last night in any of our encounters. So, you know, hopefully we can start using Light of Dawn again. That would be wonderful. Holy Light healing is also going up, but it costs even more mana than it does right now. I don't understand the reasoning behind this. Holy Light costs 175,000 mana. Okay? 175,000 mana. It does a lot of healing. It does 591,000 healing. Like, that is really good. But my Holy Shock does 353,000 healing and is instant cast. Like, the numbers here don't really add up. Like, my Holy Shock costs 70,000 mana, which is almost, it's double. It's like 2.5 times more mana to cast one Holy Light. So I don't really understand why. This just, it just needs to cost less mana. That's my real gripe with it. Nobody's ever going to cast this spell when it costs almost 3 times as much as a Holy Shock does. And you have to stand there and cast it. I'm just saying. Okay. Divine Favor is getting nerfed a little bit. In my mind, it doesn't matter because I don't use Divine Favor. Maybe for like a caster build, you could use Divine Favor. But to me, I just don't care about this, to be honest. Okay. So those are the main changes that are coming through. Tempered in Battle also did get, I would say, significantly nerfed. This is a little bit annoying. Sacred Weapons health redistribution may only occur once per cast. So right now, the Sacred Weapons that redistribute a bunch of health while people have an armament on them, it happens like multiple times. If they dip down to 40% health, like multiple times in a row, I think it can proc multiple times. But now it can only proc once. It might not be the end of the world, because I don't imagine there's going to be a case where like people are constantly dipping below 40% HP and you're like getting them back up. Like, that just doesn't, to me, that doesn't seem like that's actually going to be a thing that happens. Right now, Tempered in Battle is only doing 2% of my healing in the raid, in the Mythic raid. And I don't think it does this much. It doesn't do a ton of healing in Mythic Plus either. Like, it's good, but it's not that insane. So again, this might not be the biggest nerf in the world, even though it is technically another nerf for Holy Paladin. I mean, I just don't really understand, to be honest, why Holy Paladin is getting so many nerfs when like Mistweaver Monk is just getting no nerfs at all. They're just getting buffs across the board. Buffs, quality of life stuff. Like, I just don't really get it, but it is what it is. We're going to move on because there's some really exciting damage that you can get and healing you can get out of Holy Shock. So for example, I just spent about 3 minutes on the target dummies, and my Holy Shock did about 10% of my damage, okay? And I want to show in the raid environment that I have, my Holy Shock is pretty far up there in terms of healing. A lot of people dunk on Holy Shock and say it's such a stupid ability. It doesn't do any healing. I'm not moving any health bars is what I hear from people. To me, that's complete nonsense. Like, if you think that, you're just completely wrong. In my Mythic Plus keys, it moves a lot of health bars. It's like my 3rd or 4th highest heal in every Mythic Plus dungeon that I do right now, without it even getting buffed. We're getting 40% more healing on top of this. And in the raid environment, you can see it's basically tied with Word of Glory and Avenging Crusader. It's tied for 4th place on my meters here. Okay, so like I just think people's perception of how bad Holy Shock is completely wrong. And it's not only that, it's getting better now. It's getting much better. 40% more healing and 100% more damage, right here. So I just did some target dummy testing on right here on the PTR. I'm 635 item level, okay? And with the new 100% damage bonus that came through, my Holy Shock was doing a lot more damage than it used to do, okay? Really, really cool. It's about 10% of my damage overall, which is awesome. Now, let's equip the new gear. Let's equip a bunch of the new gear, and we'll see how much damage we can end up doing when we have Divine Toll getting a bunch of cooldown reduction, okay? So we are going to get a substantial amount of item level here. We're 657 now, so my Holy Shock is just going to be doing more damage, obviously. But I just want to show you the progression, right? Right now, we're at about 630. Right now, you can get up to like 638 item level. I'm going to get there on my pally, and we're doing about almost, we were sustaining 700K on 5 targets. Imagine for a second, if we're kind of fully decked out in the new gear, what is that going to look like once we get that going? Okay, we're at 668 item level, okay? 668 item level. Let's see what this looks like now. The biggest thing I want you to remember is that we are now getting cooldown reduction on Divine Toll. This is so important. Cooldown reduction on Divine Toll is going to potentially unlock like everything for your character now, because you're going to get a massive amount of Holy Shock casts now from Divine Toll over and over and over again. And remember, Holy Shock is now doing 100% more damage and 40% more healing. So it's going to be really substantial. So here we go. Watch this. We're going to do, I'll do a thing here. Yeah, let's do some damage. Oh, I can't use, I messed it up. Hold on. Hold on. We got to do it again in a second. I messed it up already. I already messed it up. I forgot you have to have a shield. I was using the new two-handed intellect weapon. The best in slots, but I guess you can't use it as a pally, as a holy pally, because you can't use Shield of the Righteous. So maybe in a raid you could do this, because you don't really press Shield of the Righteous that much. But you still do press it, but not that much. Okay, let's put this mace on and this shield on. There we go. So we're 667. Now we can actually use our abilities. Very nice. The other crazy thing is that you're getting cooldown reduction on Divine Toll from your tier set. You're getting cooldown reduction from things like Blessing of Autumn as well. So there's just a massive amount of CDR, which is really, really cool. Okay, let's try this again. We have Divine Toll up. We have our wings up. Let's try this one more time. Okay, we're going to do this into this. Here we go. Do this, and then I'll do this. Then we'll do Divine Toll here. So we're at 1 million damage per second now. Now, I know other healers are probably capable of doing a lot more. And I want to just, I want to stop you right there, because I understand that. We're not really trying to compare Holy Paladin to other healers. We're just trying to compare Holy Paladin to itself and highlight the fact that you now have a lot more damage from your Holy Shocks, and your Divine Toll is now off cooldown again. Boom, it's back. We're going to cast it again. Okay, very nice. We'll get a Blessing of Summer at the very end here. The fact that you're getting multiple Divine Tolls isn't just the fact that it's doing more damage and more healing. When you cast Divine Toll, you're also getting like up to 5 Holy Power, right? Which is going to help you cast your next Word of Glory or your next Shield of the Righteous to do even more damage or to do even more healing. It fuels the entire build. This is what makes it so strong, in my opinion, that I think a lot of people might not think about at first glance, is that you are also fueling your entire build and making it so that it just makes everything a lot quicker. You're going to have way more holy power generation, which is going to feed into more awakening procs, because the more holy power spenders you're using, the more awakening your procs you're going to get, which means you're going to get wings up more often, which again means you're going to do more damage and more healing. Like this simple change, getting Divine Toll back basically every 30 seconds instead of every 45 seconds, which is the cooldown that I have, is going to massively change how you play this game as a Holy Paladin, and it's gonna change everything, in my opinion. I think it's way stronger than people might give it credit for at first glance. Maybe, oh, it's just Divine Toll. No, it's everything. You're getting everything, okay? There's our Blessing of Summer. Okay. Honestly, sometimes the best part about Divine Toll is getting the extra Holy Shocks afterwards. The triple Holy Shock casts. Like, it's just outrageous how much Holy Power you end up generating. So, we'll do one more Divine Toll here, and then we'll check the numbers. We're sustaining about 800k here, which is good. The other last little utility part of this is that if you cast Holy Shock offensively, it actually ends up giving you a bunch of mana back now, which is really, really cool. There's the last one there. There we go. Okay, so we were above 800k for the most part. And there you can see Shield of the Righteous Consecration. There's a Sacred Weapon, and Holy Shock is here. Where's my... Blessing of Summer is not even on there. I'm not sure if this is the right... I guess it's right. Weird that it shows up the way. Anyway, there's the numbers there. There's your numbers. And then here's the mana that you're getting back. When you cast Holy Shock offensively, it's going to refund 50% of its mana cost. That's really good. The other last little piece of this is that there's a lot of Holy Shock synergy in Herald of the Sun, which... is great. It might push you back towards Herald of the Sun. I think realistically Lightsmith will still be better, unfortunately, but you could get things like Second Sunrise, right, where Holy Shock has a 15% chance to cast again, right? The more Divine Tolls you're casting, the more Holy Shocks you're casting, they might cast again, which is really nice. You get more damage and more healing out of it. The critical strike chance of it goes up. You have critical strike chance of Holy Shock over here as well by 8%, so you have 8 plus 5. Now you have 13% baseline extra crit chance on Holy Shock, which is just really strong. You have Blessing of Anash, which gives you a chance for your Holy Shock to do 200% more damage and healing. There's a bunch of really good things here that could synergize quite well with the buffs that are coming in. That's the main thing that I want to focus on, is that you're getting extra damage and healing out of your Holy Shock, and that is going to be really good. It's going to make Holy Shock a much bigger powerhouse of a spell, especially on the healing front, and getting massive cooldown reduction on Divine Toll is going to fuel your entire build to make it a lot stronger. So I think these changes, even though they might look subtle and it might look like there's actually just way more nerfs than there are buffs, I promise you that Holy Paladin's going to be absolutely fine if you're thinking of playing it in the next season. And these two changes are a really big deal. They are really nice. I wish the other nerfs weren't here, but as I showed earlier, you're only really losing maybe 1% of your healing over here. And then this AoE healing nerf is definitely a problem. I do not think this is good at all. This is a big problem, but the rest of it is fine. And I just think that the cooldown reduction, especially from Divine Toll, is going to be very strong. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Any of you guys who are thinking of playing Holy Paladin, let me know. Shoot me a message there underneath the video. Thank you so much again for watching. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.